So, first of all, buy the merch. This is my first time showing off Band and Sonora merch. It came. I really like it. Very subtle, very soft. I feel like this lighting doesn't make it look as nice as it is, but it's actually super nice. I'm a big fan, so you should get some Band and Sonora merch, especially now that Incineroar is legal and if you're playing Pokemon, you're gonna be running into it a lot. So, that's the merch. Today's video is about the European International Championships, which were canceled. So this is the this is the second time, I think, that since in my 10 years playing that a tournament has been canceled. The first time was back in Japan in 2011 because of the earthquake. So what happened? So Pokemon released a statement, and they said, update for the 2020 Pokemon Europe International Championships. The safety and well-being of our community, both competitors and organizers, is our top priority. While we prefer never to see an event get postponed or canceled, out of an abundance of caution, this is going to come up a bunch, and pursuant to the current recommendations set forth by public health officials, we have canceled, not postponed, the 2020 Pokemon Europe International Championships. We want to thank the Play Pokemon community for its continued interest in our competitive events and appreciate everyone's support and understanding during these unique circumstances. Please visit this website or follow Play Pokemon on Twitter for more updates and more information on Play Pokemon events. If you have additional questions, please contact Pokemon customer service. Then they have this thing which presumably might get updated if more events are canceled, and it says, Play Pokemon events are canceled due to COVID-19 concerns. 2020 Pokemon Europe International Championships have been canceled out of an abundance of caution and pursuant to the current recommendations set forth by public health officials. Check with local organizers for the latest information about events in their area. Organizers are independent Pokemon and act in the best interest of their event, including always being mindful of the safety of participants. For the events directly organized by the Pokemon Company International, we examine each event on a case-by-case basis, informed with the latest updates issued by appropriate government and World Health Organization recommendations. Currently, there are no plans to postpone or cancel the 2020 North American International Championships or 2020 Pokemon World Championships. However, we are closely monitoring the situation, and we will keep the community updated in real time on our website, blah, 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 blah. Should I be concerned about COVID-19 at Play Pokemon events? While there have been no reports directly linking any cases of the virus with our events, that's what you need to get from here. And then talking about how to prevent the spread of COVID-19 at your events. We're making hand sanitizers available to attendees while also taking additional measures to sanitize surfaces as much as possible. We strongly advise all attendees, volunteers, and organizers follow the protocols issued by the World Health Organization with regards to health and wellness while attending mass gatherings. So, that's what this webpage says, right? We all knew this was possible, I think. I think everyone knew, I started to see other esports events getting canceled, right? And esports in general is kind of in trouble, right? With COVID, with coronavirus, because it's an event that these events bring people together from all over the world. I was planning on attending this event, for example, and I'm not in Europe, but many European players would have attended, and some of their countries have coronavirus, pretty widespread, and so these kind of events, and it's not just esports, it's not just Pokemon, but I feel like esports are a bit it's threatening. It's threatening to the ecosystem of most esports events that take place in person because you're bringing people together from all over the world. So I think we all knew this was a possibility. The first thing I want to say about this before I say anything else is I think this was the right call. I was planning on attending this event. I'm personally bummed. I was really looking forward to this event. Because I'm doing content creation full time, I was gonna go a week early and spend the week with Marcus. Most of you should know Marcus, I hope. One of my best friends, for those of you who don't know, one of my best friends, he lives in Germany. We've been friends for almost a decade at this point. And yeah, he is at least 20 times funnier than I am, so there would have been a lot of good content that came out of it, and I was really looking forward to it, because Marcus is forward to it. Because Marcus has come to visit me a couple times, 3 times, I believe. And I was looking forward to seeing, his life, because I've been to Germany before, but I haven't visited because I haven't had the time. So this time I was going to go spend a bunch of time with him. That being said, I think it's good they canceled the event. I've been following the situation, and granted, not extremely closely, but it seems like, I was talking to my dad about this, and he was like, if things don't change, you can't go to this event, because, like, the situation is, getting worse, and there's a chance that, all international travel gets closed down, and you could I could have gotten locked out of the country, for example. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. So I think it's good that they canceled the event. Even though I personally was really looking forward to it, I think that this is kind of an extenuating circumstance, and I'm glad. The thing is, like, and I was talking to friends about this, and what one of them said to me is that it's not just Pokemon, right? A lot of esports events in general are getting canceled, and no game wants to be the reason that there's, like, a major hole in, like, the international, like, quarantine effect, Like, imagine, like, think about what would happen if, like, Pokemon had an event, and then because of that event, like, it became really widespread in the US, for example, where currently, I mean, it is spreading, right? But it's not to the same extent that it is in other places right now. It's not as widespread right now. But imagine what would happen if, like, we were responsible for that. And I don't know, that would be, in a word, I think that would be bad, right? I think that would be bad for, I do not want Pokemon to be the reason why people die, right? Because this disease is killing people, right? This virus is killing people. So I think it's good. This cancellation raises a couple of questions, for me at least, and I think that the answer is going to be obvious, but yeah. So there's a couple questions that are raised from this. First of all, some people got travel awards to go to this event. I think it's $3,500 if you're not from Europe, and $2,000 if you are, and then some other people got like $1,000 to go. Presumably, those people will just not get the money. I think what I would like to see, because this changes a lot of things in terms of, like, our circuit, because suddenly, like, there was, like, last year. So last year, what happened is there's two types of invites. There's the day one invite, which is just 400 CP in the US that you need, and this is the day 2 invite, which is top 8 in CP. And last season, I didn't have that much CP, but I did really well at EUIC and then at Nationals, and I was able to go for day 2. I got, like, 1,000 CP in, like, a little over a month or something, I think, because I got, like, top 4 at Internets. I don't remember. Early I got first in Internets. No, that can't be right. Maybe not 1,000, but I got a lot of CP in, like, a short period of time. And so, like, this is now a huge chunk of CP missing. So what that means is the Worlds bar for Europe, maybe it will be adjusted, right? Maybe you need less CP for Europe now because, their major event that a lot of players were going to, and Europe has way less regionals than the US as well. They just lost, like, their main source of CP, which is, like, it's a big deal, right? Players, so I don't know. So maybe the Worlds bar should be changed for them. That's the first thing. The other thing is, like I said, the stipend. So the stipends, the players who won a stipend to go to UIC, I think either that stipend should be transferred to US internationals if they're not canceled, or to Worlds if they're not canceled, or they should just get the money. I think that would be, because that's like it's like $3,500, which is not insignificant, and I don't know if Pokemon will do something like that, but I would hope something. I would hope there would be some kind of compensation. The money isn't just gone. I have a feeling they will do something like that. Like, I would be surprised if they just said, "Hey, sorry, like, we canceled the event, so you don't get anything." But we will only know once we see. Like I said, this has a big impact on the day 2 race. Yeah, like, even this season, like, I have almost 400 CP. If I maxed out my locals, I'd have almost 800 CP. Wait, no, I'd have almost, what's 390 plus 480? I'd have almost 900 CP, which would put me at 6th, I think, in the current CP race. So, if I was planning on going to UIC, and if I did well, maybe I'd make a day 2 push. Without EUIC, there's a good chance that, like, players like me probably won't go for day 2. If Worlds isn't canceled, because that's the other thing, is, like, right now they said there's no plans to cancel Worlds or Internets, but that's, like, that's not a guarantee, right? And it's going to depend, I think, a lot on the situation in the US and in Europe by the time Worlds or Internationals and Worlds comes around. I think there's a good chance that these events get canceled, which is, I'd be really, really sad if Worlds got canceled. I don't know, it's an important thing to me, but I would rather have Worlds canceled than I would have Pokemon cause a major outbreak. So, yeah. But hopefully the situation improves and it doesn't come to that. But yeah, we'll see. The other thing that's kind of worth noting is, like I said, there's CP bars. I believe it's 350 in Europe and 400 in the US. It's definitely 400 in the US. I can never remember if it's 350 or 300 in Europe, but I think it's 350. Should those be adjusted because of this, right? I feel like if I were Pokemon, I would lower Europe's CP bar, right? Because, like I said, their major source of... And it's not like the US where you have tons of regionals you can go to. But, yeah, EUIC was, like, their big event. So, I think if it were me, I would personally lower the CP bar for Europe. Even if you only lowered it 50 points and said, okay, instead of 350, it's 300, or instead of 350, it's 250, like... Or 200, like... I don't know. It would be interesting. I don't think they have data on, like, this stuff in terms of, like, how many people get CP and use that CP to qualify. But, like, I think it would be a good gesture to say, hey, we know we had to cancel this, but, like, we're still listening to the players, so we're going to lower the CP bar, right? In order to keep things, like... Because I think it's, like, a lot of players rely on that to get their invite, and especially in Europe, right? So, I don't know. I think it's fair, to lower Europe's CP bar, because it would be unfortunate to miss qualify for Worlds, because assuming Worlds is not canceled, that is, like, this is all assuming Worlds isn't canceled, but it'd be very unfortunate to miss just because the event was canceled, especially in a region like Europe. I feel similarly about Australia, because they also don't have as many, like, regionals and stuff there, compared to the US, but yeah. And the reason why, like, I don't think the other CP bars should be lowered just because Europe's international was canceled, is because most of the people who are going to fly to Berlin for this tournament, like, if you're going to this tournament, you're most likely not going to qualify for day 1. You're probably going for day 2, or yeah, you just, like, or you know, you did really well. But yeah, I don't think other CP bar, like, I don't think America's CP bar needs to be lowered because of this, but I do think it would be a good gesture for them to lower the bar for Europe, so that players who, you know, were planning on this to qualify would still be able to qualify. Yeah. In terms of, like, do I think, I've touched on it briefly, but, like, in U.S. Internationals and Worlds, I think the good thing is that these events are both pretty far away. Internets is either I think it's end of June this year, like very end of June, which is in a couple months, and then another month and a half after that we have Worlds. So Worlds is until August. It's really loud, for me at least. So we have a bit of time before Worlds comes around. Hopefully not just for Pokemon, but just for, like, the world in general. Hopefully the situation is much more under control by then. But, yeah, I mean, if it's not, there's a good chance. I think there's a if the situation is as it is right now, I would expect Worlds to be canceled. Granted, I don't know that much about coronavirus, and, you know, I'm not an expert on these things, and I don't know what goes into canceling an event. But, I don't know, like, if they're going to cancel EUIC, and, like, I would expect, I don't know, I think it's pretty reasonable to say, okay, it's less about the size of the event and more about the situation of the world. So, yeah, but yeah, overall, I think this is the right decision by Pokemon, even though it's sad, even though I'm super bummed out about it. Like, it's like it's just like an unfortunate reality, an unfortunate, like, reality of the time, and I think, like, to give perspective on it, people are dying because of this virus, so I guess it's kind of, I don't know if, I don't like to try and guilt people for what they're feeling, if what they're feeling is, like, reasonable, like, but I do think it's important, like, so I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm a bad person because I feel bummed that my tournament was canceled, even though some people have this a lot of people have this virus, and it's a big deal, because those things, I can recognize both those things, you know, they're not mutually exclusive, right? I recognize that, that the safety of people comes first, and that we don't want to cause a hole in this, you know, international quarantine effort, and, you know, it's really bad that so many people have this virus, but, you know, I'm still bummed about the tournament, even though I know it was the right decision. So, yeah, hats off to Pokemon. It's not an easy decision to make. I would not have. I'm glad I was not on the team that had to make this call. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's overall for the best, even though it's a drag. So, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. That's just the news. I will keep you posted. I mean, I'm not the one who decides it, but hopefully we'll all keep our fingers crossed that the situation gets under control before, well, actually as soon as possible, so that future events are not canceled. If there's anything I missed in the video, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. I think I covered pretty much everything, but you know, it's me, so who can never be sure. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next video, which should be WBE, I think. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Wash your hands. Please wash your hands. Please wash your hands. Okay, bye.